OpenAI just shipped its biggest voice agent update in a long time, and it's crazier than you'd think.
We're introducing new real-time audio models for voice agents that can follow instruction and take actions. Voice can truly become the primary interface now.
Now that these models have things like reasoning and parallel tool calling, the model can explain itself and update the user.
Agents can now do multiple things at the same time during a live call, remember 4 times more than before, and can natively plug straight into actual phone numbers. I run an AI receptionist company in the UK called Arrow, and we've monitored over 25,000 live AI phone calls. So when OpenAI ships something that claims to change how voice agents get built, I go and test it on a real production setup before I can have an opinion. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through what this update changed, how you can build a working voice agent on the new tech stack from scratch, and test it before you decide whether you want to work with it or not. First, I need to show you the problem 99% of AI voice agents had before this new update, because it's why this new release is so important for anyone building voice agents right now. So here's how a voice agent gets built today. And I'll use our actual production setup at Arrow as the example. When a call comes in, one tool handles the voice agent itself. That's the platform, something like Retell or Vapi. A second call, a speech-to-text engine, turns what the caller says into text. Then an AI language model takes that text and decides what to say back. And then another tool turns that response back into synthetic voice. That's text to speech. And another tool runs the actual phone line. So that's at least 5 separate systems from 5 different companies handling one phone call, which makes it hard to create one smooth human voice coming out of the phone. And in most cases, there's at least one more tool that needs to get added to actually help businesses make more money. Because imagine if the caller says, do you have anything available on Wednesday? To answer that, the agent has to send that request out to a calendar, get the answer back, and run through the chain again. So that's maybe 7 different processes for one simple question. Every one of those adds a little bit of latency, that pause to the response. And that latency is the enemy, because on a real call, half a second of lag doesn't get interpreted as the system is thinking. It'll feel like the voice agent is being slow or awkward or just not human. And the more pieces you stitch together, the more places there are for the whole thing to break. Those multiple hops across tools are how every voice agent used to work, right up until this release. So here's what OpenAI just shipped and why it actually matters. Let's focus on GPT Realtime 2, as that's what you'll use for actual telephone voice agents. On the surface, the release consists of 5 major things. First, the context window went from 32,000 tokens to 128,000 tokens. So the agent's working memory is 4 times bigger, basically going from the size of a few chunky chapters of a novel to a full-length book. Secondly, you get parallel tool calls during a live call. Thirdly, you also get proper interruption handling, so when a caller cuts in, the agent can reason and pick up the thread instead of starting over. And fourth, there's native NCP support directly in the OpenAI API, so you can plug existing tool servers straight in. Finally, there's native SIP support, which means a phone line can route straight into the API. But none of those 5 on their own are massively exciting. The main headline here is the architecture underneath them. This is one of the first true voice-to-voice reasoning models. That's one AI model that listens, thinks, and speaks without those multiple tool hops. And that changes what makes the other 5 possible. With this model, the audio goes in, the reasoning happens, the tools fire, and the audio comes back out, all inside one model, voice to voice. The voice sounds more expressive and appropriate to the context of the call without having to be generated via an external voice generation hop. And that's why this update is worth your attention when a lot of these updates aren't. Most voice AI agent updates shave 100 milliseconds off latency or warm the voice up a touch. They make the existing wiring a bit more efficient. This one changes how the system is wired in the first place. So how do you actually build on this? Right now, the piece that's most interesting is the improvement in the expressiveness of the voice generation, which is self-explanatory, and the native SIP support. So let me explain what that means. SIP is the protocol real phone calls run on. So before this update, putting the OpenAI agent on a real phone line meant building your own middle layer, a chunk of code that sits between your phone provider and OpenAI that shuffles the audio back and forth. You could use another platform like Retell to help manage that, but that just added further complexity. But with this release, the call routes straight from the phone line into the GPT Realtime 2 API. You still need a phone provider like Twilio to give you the number and route the call, but that's it. That means there's one less thing to build and one less thing to break. So the whole theme of this release is that the stack you have to assemble yourself is starting to get smaller. Let me show you how to make this on your own business, because there's a few things you want to keep in mind when creating voice agents with OpenAI. So the quickest way to test this is in the browser in the OpenAI playground. So you go to platform.openai.com to audio, and then you can set up an agent in here. Here's one I've pre-built, so we've just got a very simple prompt. We're answering for a HVAC heating boiler engineer in the UK. The voice I've gone with is Marin. Funnily enough, sometimes this voice tries to sound British, but it's clearly an American accent. It's strange, but it's very good. We're using semantic turn detection so that we're really testing the model's intelligence at understanding when it should and shouldn't answer. And then all these other settings are set to the default. So the most important one being the GPT real-time model is set there. So let's take a call. Hello, can you hear me?
Good morning, Hartwell Heating and Cooling. You're speaking with Holly, the AI receptionist. I'm absolutely delighted to hear you loud and clear. How can I help today?
Hi, I need to get an engineer round to visit for a service on my hot water heater. There's something wrong with it.
All right, let's get this sorted together. I'll ask a couple of quick questions so we can help properly. Thanks for letting me know. We'll treat this as a heating issue to be checked. Quick safety check first. Are you noticing any gas smell, carbon monoxide alarm, fumes, or anything like a loud bang from the heater?
Oh, no. It's just, there's no hot water at the moment, but there's nothing crazy like that, no.
That's good to hear. No hot water is still important, so we'll treat it as a priority to review. Could I take your name, please, so the team knows who to call back?
Yeah, of course, my name's Ben.
Lovely. Thanks, Ben. What's the best phone number for the team to reach you on?
You can call me on 07496 225 555.
Perfect. Thank you. I've got it as 07496 225 555.
That's bang on, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you. Could you share your address or just the postcode so we can confirm you're in our West Sussex area?
Yeah, sure. I'm in Worthing, so the postcode's BN17 4QL.
Perfect. Worthing BN17 4QL is in our area. Are you the homeowner, tenant, landlord, or a managing agent for the property?
So you can hear the voice is expressive, much better than the old OpenAI models. And overall, it's just doing a really impressive job considering this is voice to voice. So let's take this to a real phone call. So how would you do that? So a couple of options. You're going to need to set up a new repository to run this from. A good place to start is within OpenAI's announcement of the GPT Real-Time 2. Right at the bottom, there is a link to a prompt that you can open in Codex or really any coding agent. It will go and read the API documentation and it will spin you up an application ready to receive phone calls and connect to the SIP trunk. I've gone ahead and done that. So the main thing you'll need to do is add a webhook for the real-time call incoming. That webhook will then be handled by the coding agent to loop through to the SIP trunk. Over in Twilio, I've grabbed a spare number that I had and I've applied the OpenAI real-time SIP lab to it. In terms of doing this, all I had to do was ask a coding agent to do it for me and it just figured it out and I just followed the instructions. So let's try and give her a call on the real number.
Hi, you've reached Hartwell Heating and Cooling's AI receptionist. How can I help you today?
Hello there, I need to get a boiler service please for my home.
Of course, a routine boiler service is fine. Can I take your name to get things started?
Yeah, my name's Ben and we just got no hot water, so I'm just in a bit of an emergency.
Thanks. Ben, let's treat this as a priority and quickly check safety and key details. Because you've got no hot water and you said it's urgent, I'll treat this as a priority. Before anything else, are there any safety concerns like a gas smell?
No safety concerns. Everything's fine. Just need to get it fixed.
Okay, thanks for checking. What's the best phone number to reach you on?
Just use this number I've called you from, that's fine.
Lovely, thank you. Could you give me your postcode and the first line of the address so the team knows where to attend?
I'll stop it there. That's the model in action via the browser or via a phone. And there's one thing to call out, obviously. This is genuinely good on American accents, but the British voices still trail what someone like 11 Labs is doing. The latency, the gap between the call and response is still pretty bad compared to what's out there right now, but you can see where this is heading. If you're a business owner watching this, the question to ask isn't, should I wait for OpenAI to do this directly? It's, when a call goes wrong, Who's responsible? How does the data get into my CRM? And who actually improves the receptionist after it launches? The model's getting cleverer doesn't fix any of that. Quick one before we keep going, if you'd rather have a plug and play AI voice agent that works immediately for your business and turns inbound calls into meetings or appointments, that's what we do at Arrow. I test these releases as they ship and turn what genuinely works into real AI receptionists that answer every inbound call for my clients. There's a link in the description in case you're interested. Now, before anyone runs off thinking the whole job just got automated, there are some caveats. Because there's a trend emerging in voice AI right now, and it's about to change the way voice agents are going to be built. Let's start with what this new release does not change. Things like the dashboards, the call logs, the QA flows, the monitoring, the retries, the recording, the compliance, cost control, all of that is still the production layer, and it's still your job to either build those tools from scratch or use a platform such as Vapi or Retell, which is where most people are running voice agents from right now. And those tools have built their moat on the orchestration, on stitching the stack of tools together for you, but that's the part that's just started to collapse. For now, the dashboards, the logs, the monitoring, the integrations, none of that lives in OpenAI's tool set. So potentially we're going to see these platforms shift from we stitch the stack together for you to we run the production layer on top of OpenAI's model so you don't have to figure that out for yourself. From a voice generation perspective, 11 Labs still wins, especially on British and European accents. My honest thoughts are that this isn't worth OpenAI's time to go and build their own 11 Labs voice cloning and huge library of voices from the ground up. So here's what I think is going to happen. There's 3 ways this could play out. Retell and Vapi pull these voice-to-voice models inside and become the management layer that sits on top of it, although I don't know how 11 Labs could work with these voice-to-voice models yet. Or OpenAI builds out the dashboards, the logs, and the monitoring itself and becomes a full voice agent platform. Or builders like us skip the wrapper entirely, plug straight into the voice-to-voice model, and run their own production layer. I'll be careful putting a date on which way it tips because this space moves so fast, but the direction seems to be locked in. Voice-to-voice reasoning models are probably going to become the default, and every platform out there is going to have to absorb that, build around it, or get absorbed by it. So that's everything that OpenAI changed and how it'll impact the future of AI voice agents. But if you want to hear how today's models stack up against the best voice agents out there right now, that you can actually attach to a phone number and deploy to a business today, click this video here. I tested and compared a bunch of these, and this video will show you the 3 that came out on top and sound the most human. I'll see you there.